Hello. So, first weekly review of the first week of December. We're going to start by December. I don't have my webcam on. I've got a new webcam, but it's too heavy for my old laptop. Prime example that I never intended to do content, but I'll try to do my best and share. It's actually the fourth time I'm trying this because I think trading views is really demanding, and yeah, laptop's too old, and it ends up lagging and stuttering. I did a video the other day on TradeZella, and it worked perfectly fine, but I think web browser and especially trading view is too demanding. But I'll upgrade my laptop later on. So just go back to the week. My view was that we were creating a 4 hour M formation before more upside, either on Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin was into weekly demand, swept some liquidity, and Ethereum just tapped into an order block. Don't remember if it was daily or weekly. And the count was complete as well on the 4 hour for myself. The count comes from the TBD method, trade, travel, chill, which is deviated from the market maker model from Steve Morrow as well. So anyway, I won't dive into a lot of details about how I trade. I'll just explain my trades. I can do this maybe into a later video. So yeah, start of the week, which is here. Down here you have these gaps the weekend, and those dots are the week. So we were here on Monday before CME open. I was expecting a tap into this supply before going lower, and my main view as we were dropping lower as well was if we sweep the low of the previous week, which is that red range here, we were good to go higher. And it's a mistake I made because I'm a 5-minute and 15-minute trader, and I like to get in and out on small time frames and not really keen on to holding position for a long time. But I think this one was definitely a good trade, especially that it respected my bias and my idea. So why not take the trade if your idea is good and validated? And to the middle peak of that W was decent. 2.5 3-hour trade, depending on how you go, around the 3-hour trade, which is amazing for as a result for a whole week. 3 hours is all you can ask for. If you can get that consistently, it's amazing. And it's a trade that runs in the background. Don't have to worry too much about it. As soon as it moves away, you go to break even and you're fine. So let's go back down into the 15-minute, the start of the week, and how I saw things happening. I'll just go more into Bitcoin. So yeah, we tapped into this supply, had an M formation, dropped, and here was a really good entry. So CME open for me is 10 a.m. here, and had a 5-minute M under the 50 EMA, which is the blue one. This gave a decent short opportunity if you were to trade this this zone, which is called dead gap zone. To the low of the week was a decent 2-hour trade, and if it moves with strength like this, you can still remove your TP. And as price moves lower, just put your stop loss back to where your TP was, and then your best case becomes your worst case, and then you can trail your stop lower and try to milk more out of that trade. But I was at the gym at that time at 10 a.m. I usually come to the market at start of Asia here, which are here on my market session indicator. We got Asia, UK, and US, and I live in Eastern Australia, so I basically trade Asia and UK mainly, and I might wake up for US if I think there is a setup, but I can't trade all sessions. I've done it in the past, very hard, too difficult, too much for one man to try to trade all session. And then this is like 1 a.m. as well, 2 a.m. for me. So only really if I feel like a setup is going to present, I might stand out for UK and then wake and have a big nap and wake up for US. Anyway, in the future, I'll probably pay more attention. It was already on my notes that CME Open on Mondays can generate some good trades. Not during the week, like not always. So yeah, Asia, nothing happened after the gap, after the open. yeah, that gap zone. UK same was pretty similar, and I did not wake up for US because I try to stay away from the market on Mondays as well. I try to let the market create a range or show what it wants to do. If I do want to trade on Mondays, I'll go half risk. But here on the 5 minute, actually I'll go on Ethereum, because Ethereum had a better setup. I go back to that replay. Plus, I'll go back to my trade as well that I took on Tuesday. Good. I've already done that. Let's go 5 minute. So yeah, I had it already marked from before, but price was still rejecting all the EMAs on the 5 minute, and then at US Open, when you get this inverted hammer, you get another one, you get a retest railroad tracks. Like, this is decent for an entry, even if it's still within Asia range. Like, you might decide to not take the trade, but it is a really good setup. And then just to the low of the week was a decent 2-hour trade as well. So I did not get involved in this because I was sleeping. But next day here, I've got a divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum at Asia Open here. So Ethereum was respecting this supply zone, and we had trap traders here from that on the 15-minute candle. Struggled to get above this level, and we dropped at UK Open, retested here. And here I made the mistake to get involved too early. I didn't wait for this 5-minute candle to close, which was my mistake. I entered off the 2-minute. My trade was somewhere around here, taking this, and I was actually going to trade into, it's probably lower because it wasn't that much of a risk reward. But trade back into the low of the week before going higher into a 1 hour M formation to go higher. So the mistake here was, first, I didn't wait for the 5-minute candle close. Second, I'm counter trend trading my idea of us going higher after the sweep of the low of the week. And at this point as well, ETH created a sweep, which Bitcoin didn't, which was probably showing that we were just going to continue higher. Ethereum grabbed the liquidity below Asia low, Bitcoin didn't. So anyway, I get into this trade, I get stopped out, and right after being stopped out, I see this evening, come on. I see this evening star here with the hammer rejecting 50% Asia, and I clearly think, I just got stopped out. And I got carried out with my emotions. I re-entered onto this trade thinking we were still going to go lower, which was a big mistake. Usually when I enter a trade, if I get stopped out, I'll stop and reassess and try to understand where I was wrong and where did I misread the market. Or in this case, maybe I was just stopped out before the clear move, but in this case I was wrong. So what I did, I re-entered the trade, and then first candle right after that pushed higher, this engulfing. When this happened, I realized I was under the emotions, and I just revenge trade. So I closed my trade here at half a loss, pretty sort of half a risk loss. And I closed my laptop because I have got a rule that says no more than 2 losses in a day, and that was my quota for the day. So I closed my laptop, moved away. I knew I was under the emotions, and I needed to stop trading for the day. The thing is, following that, maybe an hour after, I'm in my couch and I look at the charts, and I see this sweep that occurred just before, and then I see this W that created of the 50 EMA, while Bitcoin remained bullish at this point. And I'm thinking, here comes I was wrong. This is the way the market is gonna go, and we just had the W into the consolidation into the range before moving higher, whatever the target was at the time. And I refrained myself from going back to the laptop and entering this trade, even though I had a high conviction that it was going to play out, because I just wanted to respect my rules, which are really strict. Which the rules I have that are strict is 2 losses max per day, and 4%, whatever you want to call it, max per week. When I hit those, I just stop trading either for the day or for the week. And I took it as a opportunity to really embed my rules, and as a lesson that next time I would not revenge trade and not use the only second trade I have for the day and wait for really the good opportunity. And then I would have made use of that second chance and made the money back and potentially had a really good trade on my hands. Alright, let's go back to the following day. So we had the big bump, nothing crazy here. Wasn't awake here for US. Asia comes here, nothing crazy at the open. I potentially thought about going long here, but after a sharp move like this, I tend to refrain from it. I don't like sharp moves, or like keep going into the direction of the sharp move, especially. But ETH was retesting key levels, which was high of the day. What was this level? I think it was like the weekly open, the monthly open, and it was potentially a trade into the liquidity that was resting above, but did not take this. Then next day, Thursday, I've got Asia not doing anything, UK not doing anything, and this time I decided to wake up because we were here at peak formation high, and UK wasn't doing much. I went to bed early and I decided to wake up for US. And here what happened is, I'll replay here. So I can drop to the 5 minute. And I'm watching my US session with no real intention to get into a trade. I let price move and I was busy watching a video as well. And so I woke up around here, which was 1:30. Spent all this time looking at the chart, and here I noticed this M formation at the high of the week, high previous week, under all the EMAs, and especially rejecting Asia low here. And when this inverted hammer happened, I thought, this is the trade. The trade is short. The only thing that stops me from entering is it's already 4 a.m. I've been up for 3.5 hours, and I don't want to monitor this trade being at a peak formation high as well. That it's sort of counter-trend trading on the higher time frames. So I placed the trade. I don't remember where it was exactly, but there was some key levels down here. I placed my trade this way, and like paper traded exactly like this on TradingView, and I go to bed. And I wake up the next morning and this trade played out. So adds a bit of frustration, but it is what it is. Then I go into the next day. And that's where I took my 2 other trades for the week. It was 4 trades. So Bitcoin is still rejecting the previous Asia low, and it's rejecting all these EMAs as well. And here it's creating divergence with ETH. So ETH is grabbing liquidity from the end of US into the gap. But at this point, there's still no entry for me, neither on Ethereum or Bitcoin, to get in. And I'm always scanning altcoins because sometimes they might give better opportunities, even if I just really focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And here I noticed on Pepe and honestly most of the altcoins on the 5 minute, this is a pattern of mine that I love a lot, which is you have a big drop, consolidation, and then you have an M formation of the 200 EMA, which is the yellow one, and usually you can enter right over here. Maybe the entry would have been better here, and your target in this case is this low. So I enter late on Pepe. My entry should have been there. My target should have been there, and it was a great trade. But because I entered here, the risk to reward to that point was less good. And honestly, the rules of my setup is like I should have closed my trade there. The only thing I did is put my trade to break even at this point, going into UK US changeover to protect myself. And I've put this trade at break even, and price does, so respect my setup but doesn't keep dropping lower, stops me out and keeps going lower at this point. But I'm not in a trade anymore, and I actually on that day decided to not trade UK because I was a bit fed up and tired, especially after this break even when the trade finally moved into my direction. And I had a similar setup on Link as well. The thing is, Link did not drop as much. Let me go to Link. Oh, here we go, the laptop stuttering. I don't want this video to be too long. It's already 16 minutes. I have another rule as well, which is I would not take double the risk on the same trade. So I would not enter 2 trades at the same time. My risk will be on the trade. If that risk becomes, if I go break even on this trade, then I'll allow myself to take another trade. And this is what happened between Link and Pepe. I was at a point where Pepe was risk free and Link presented the same setup just a bit later. So I did enter on Link because I was risk-free on Pepe, and I ended up doing the same thing. I ended up being risk-free before the end of UK and the start of US on Link, and I got stopped as well because Link didn't drop exactly the way I wanted it to drop. So here you have the first drop, the consolidation, rejection of the 200 EMA, grabbing liquidity up here, perfect drop, retest of the 50 EMA, and usually it should have dropped to that level. Here my risk to reward was good because my entry was better. Thing is, at this point, price reversed and I had my stop up there because I didn't want price to go above this level, and got stopped out at a small loss. So that was my week. I didn't get involved on Friday. I wanted to wake up for Friday US, but I had stuff planned on the weekend. So yeah, that's all I took for this week. I'll show you screenshots of my trades that are and my account. Let me move this because if I go directly on those, it's gonna definitely make my laptop lag. So this is my TradeZeta account. These are 2 trades I took, the 2 losses on ETH and the 2 break-evens on Friday on Pepe and Link. Here they are. These are set up to our results, so it's a 2-hour loss for the week, which is reasonable. I could have made better trades and make money for sure, but it's still reasonable. This is only like 1 good trade away from recover this loss, and at this point I'm sitting in a good positions. These are the positions I took on my breakout account. So a bit of context: I had a funded account which I already took payouts of, but I drained this account close to the breach out level, and I breached that funded account. And on the side I had an evaluation account, and this account I was trading it this exact same way I was trading the funded. So this evaluation account has been almost drawn to 0 as well. So this is the balance. My equity limit is 47,000. So there's nothing left on it, and I know I should buy another account, but I've been through the last 2 months with a big mindset struggle because I went through a massive amount of a big losing streak of, I think the maximum was 12 trades with break evens in there, but 12 trades with no wins. And usually my max is about 6 or 7. So I've definitely been into a bad mindset and I have to readjust. And because December, it's a really bad month to trade, I thought I would just play small, like if I was paper trading, and risk my $15, $10 risk that I can allow on this account to paper trade through December and regain momentum and good habits, and try to stack some wins. And then in January, I'll buy another evaluation and start fresh. So here are my executions. Don't worry about those ones that are marked. I was showing a friend how to execute orders on this terminal. So minimal risk, and I just paid for fees basically. And this is the break even on Pepe and the small loss on Link. And I think I have TradeZella. The good thing to know TradeZella as well is you can input whatever you want in TradeZella. So here are the trades here with the dollar value and not the R result. Anyone that is showing you a journal with a journal from TradeZella, they can write whatever they want in here. Any journal. If they don't show you the broker like this with all the execution, like even here, see, like I can't remove those trades even if they were just examples for a friend. Like they're gonna show up in here, so I cannot lie about this. And then who's gonna show up that their equity is close to breach, like whatever. So that was my week. I was trying to get a good confidence back and play the higher time frame. I obviously did not respect the higher time frame trade, like that 1 hour trade I should have taken at the start of the week. Slip in emotion, which is bad, but there's some lessons in here that we're gonna remember. And how to get out of the frustration. The last 2 months have been really hard. When I started, when I started sharing my journey on the Discord, is from there I had no massive wins and win streaks. I think I had 1 week out of 2 months where I had a plus 4R result, and people might think this guy doesn't know how to trade. And then honestly lately I started to doubt myself as well. You know, you can have that imposter syndrome when going through all this, but these are just phases of trading, and everybody's gonna go through them. The most important part is try to have a strong mindset and recover slowly from it. And that's exactly why I'm not taking another account, and I'm just gonna trade this way for the remainder of the month. And if everything goes well, we'll start fresh in January. All right, this is a bit of a 20 minute video, but this was the whole review of the week. Thanks for watching.